What is going
guys.
on?
It is Scotch for Dummies Thursday night.
Happy
Thursday. We got a pretty decent fight coming up. We're going to jump right into it here as quickly as we can. We've got the Peated category.
This is the Peated category. This is round 6, I believe, of the Peated. We have a three. Is it a 3-time champ, Ledaig?
Yeah, we'll get into that actually in the second half of the show tonight. Well, that's what we're doing. Instead of having 2 fights tonight, we're going to get through this fight, and then we're going to talk about we're going to do a review up to now, so everybody knows where we're at in all the categories. Show you what some of the contenders that are in line. Maybe get a few more recommendations for other contenders that you guys and gals might want to see come through. But this particular king, Ledaig 10, has definitely been around. It's defended 3 or 4 times now. It's let's be realistic. Does it have a chance of losing tonight? There's always a chance.
There's
Always a chance. You never know. That's the whole point of these, right? Is you don't go off what it is. You go off what you're tasting tonight. And I can tell you right now, we've had a few bottles that we thought, oh, no way. And they're like, where'd you
put up a good fight.
Where'd you come from? Or put up a good fight.
Yep.
So it's
So
always interesting.
I was reading the comments and I saw a couple of folks already saying, Bowmore doesn't stand a chance. It's definitely fighting an uphill battle tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
It's tricky, yeah.
But who knows? We'll see what happens. You want to say hi to a couple of people?
Let's say hi to a few people real quick.
And then we'll dive into the tail of the tape.
All right, let's go up to the top. Who was first?
got?
Well, we say Steve A, but why is the rum gone? And then we've got.
Did he ask that for Tom?
I think he did.
Yep.
Speaking of Tom.
So I see most of our folks from the pre-show. I see Zach and Gregor, who's leaving tomorrow to go
Gregor.
to the motherland of Scotland.
So jealous. We're going to be hooking up with him, doing something fun, I'm sure. I'm not sure yet, but we're going to definitely do something.
I want to
that
hook up
guy.
with him over across the pond in Edinburgh so we can get arrested together.
Oh, yeah. This is a blowout. Bowmore is gone. You know what? We'll see.
We'll see.
We will see.
I can't dispute that, but we're gonna let the fight show.
Francois and
Mark JG, look at that guy.
Hoagie
He was
Bear's
on.
in
He was
tonight.
on one lead this week.
Yeah.
Hoagie, heck yeah! Good to see you, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Who else we got? And Tom is representing Facebook and YouTube as often as he does. Stuff.
That's
for
good.
Zach, morning. Love
How
this
about that?
intro. Heck yeah.
You know what? You're not the only one. I get so excited when that music's jamming.
Hell yeah. What else we got?
Adam McKnight. Cheers.
Oh, there he is.
Fan.
Good deal.
Hey,
Nice.
you too.
Hey, John Irwin. Welcome, John.
So Teddy says pretty decent fight. Good. I mean, here's
That's
the
good.
thing. The contenders get a chance, and if they win, they win. If they lose as expected, then that's fine too. But we don't know which one's which in these glasses. They've been pre-poured, so I wasn't around when they were poured.
I wasn't either.
So anyway, do you want to do the tail of the tape? Let's say we dive into this guy. Drew's got some new tech. He hasn't got it programmed yet, so we don't have a fight bell, but we do have something. Thanks, buddy. Anyway, tail of the tape.
All right.
Bowmore 12, the challenger.
The challenger
I'm gonna
from
put the.
the island of Islay.
Islay. Isla.
So from Isla, we have the Bowmore 12, 40% ABV. This is perfectly balanced as it describes for a 12-year-old whiskey.
That is, let's talk about Bowmore and Bowmore 12 specifically. That's the intro level to their core range.
Yes.
That is that's, I don't want to say the bottom of Bowmore's barrel, but that's their entry-level core range bottle. They have other bottles. They've got a 15 darkest. What are some of the core range type
15,
bottles? I mean, there's a
18,
ton of
20,
other
yeah.
not so core-ish bottles out there, but we've loved some Bowmores. There's definitely some Bowmores out there that we have killed and loved. But what is Bowmore up against? The current king of the hill, Ledaig 10. This is 46.3% ABV. So if we're lining these up, tail of the tape, this one's a wee bit. Ledaig's going to punch a little harder because it's coming in at 46.3. It is 2 years younger. What else can we say about the tail? I mean, honestly, that's really the 2 biggest differences, which is good. We try to keep them as comparable as possible. We're going to go through these guys. It's going to be nose, palate, finish. Go back around for another round and see it with water, and then we're gonna find out what we think about it in this moment tonight. So don't know which one's which. May the best bottle win.
That's right.
Eeny, meeny, miny, go.
Go for it, Andrew.
All right, we'll start with black. Black glass.
Talk to me, Goose.
Smells like pork chops.
Smells like pork chops. Do you like pork chops?
I do like pork chops.
I like pork chops. Barbecue pork chops?
Smoked.
Smoked.
Smoke.
Come on, give me more than that.
A little bit of little sauce on there. Not sweet baby rays. Not quite that sweet.
So I did go with. I'll mention this real quick,
Ooh,
just
we got
because
some
you mentioned
deeper peat in there. Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Some,
There
like,
is- there-
some deep char.
the Bowmore is definitely darker than the Ledaig.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
I think it's. I mean, if you look at
It's
it,
more
from the
red.
side-
Well, okay, so before I get into the noses, let's talk about this. This is 40% ABV, so we know it's chill filtered.
Yeah, it's got to be chill filter.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go.
think it tells
What,
natural
the Bowmore?
color.
Yeah, the Bowmore
Yeah.
doesn't say anything about natural color. I've got to
It
assume
can't be,
it's
yeah.
got color in it. So fine, fair enough. The Ledaig, on the other hand, we know is non-chill filtered. Don't we? I swear I saw that on there. It's
Yeah.
46.3. I bet dime to a dollar it's got to be non-chill filtered.
Yeah, but that's another reason why I went to color glasses, just to double check, just to hide any extra.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right, and it does say non-chill filter, but it doesn't say anything about coloring or not. So maybe there's some color in it, which is not surprising for a 10-year-old. I mean, I'm not beating them up for that. But anyway, let's see if I got those pork chops.
No, so as a reminder of the rules, we are basically nosing and tasting. We will add water as well, so next third layer. But the point is, which do you guys prefer tonight, right? Black or gold tonight, in
Yeah,
that regard.
Peated
So
whiskey.
which one is your favorite tonight? Not about your favorite brand or anything else. It's what do you taste tonight?
So-
I'm like, wow.
On the nose, I get like a salty dry rub, but I also get like an artificial fruit note
Really?
that I'm not really fond of.
Boy, I didn't get that.
Like an artificial cherry smell or some kind of artificial red berry.
So, do a deep nose on it. So that's where I started to get some really nice, smoky depth. If you really just kind of draw it all the way in, because it's a deeper.
Yeah, okay, you're right. So there's like this superficial layer on the nose that I was getting that artificial note, and it's like I said, salty.
Yeah, definitely.
But you're right. When you really get in there and take a big heavy whiff of it, you get below that, and it's heavy. It's almost like there's a heavier gas in the nose on the bottom,
it
you
is.
know,
It smells like it.
which is interesting. Dive right in, see what that thing's got to offer.
Well, I get like machine oil smoke and
What weight?
Machine oil. Yeah, I mean that's salty. I can see-
10W30.
I can see why you thought of it as a dry rub, because you get that salt in that rub, and
even
Right.
briny and
I'll do it.
fishery,
What the heck?
some kind of like fishiness. My dad used to come. He was a machinist, and he would come home tool and die every single day, and it was just that oil smell, machine oil.
Go for it. Ooh, a lot more peppery than I expected it to be. It's soft, it's approachable, but there is a really strong pepper note down the middle. Pretty lasting.
Very peppery.
that's good.
Ooh,
the pepper
that's good,
turns
though.
to I don't want to say sour, but a little bit of a tanginess on the finish.
A little bit of chocolate, a little bit of.
Oh, that is so good.
And chew on
I
that
would
for a
say
second.
almost malty too, a little bit, like underneath the chocolate.
I'm not getting that chocolate. note.
Coffee-ish, little coffee.
There's a bitterness in there. That's what it's. It is the smoked pork is really prevalent in this. I'm getting. It's like you even getting some of the crunchy crust,
a little bit.
that burnt crust on it. It's just really well done.
Yeah.
It has layers of sweetness in there. You get that smoky crust. You have the saltiness. I'm not getting as much in the palate.
I was getting
But-
more on the nose.
Yeah.
So
Not very spicy either,
would
though.
you know if I said like burnt pork fat, like the
Yeah,
fat,
yeah,
the-
It's just
absolutely.
the top on the pork
Absolutely.
bun before you tear it.
Crusty.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
The part that's not good for you, but really tastes.
It's so
That's
good.
what makes the pulled pork so good, right? You mix it together.
Right. You fight for that
That
piece,
char.
even though it's horrible for you.
Yeah.
All right, one more sip, Neat, and then we're gonna go on to gold and see what happened, what we have to say about it after round one, right?
Sounds good.
Man, I like that.
This is
I could do that all day.
the second sip I'm looking forward to. The first one was a little bit more peppery, but I think that's
The pepper
the
came,
first.
came down. I'm getting some of the brininess on the finish now.
nose doesn't have a whole lot going on, to be honest.
Kind of a young, not acrid, but
It's got some
Jar.
depth to it, more of a almost I don't want to say sherry, but there's something caramelized maybe in the nose depth that I'm not tasting yet.
that's the caramel color.
That's the car. Yeah, it's E150.
150.
Yeah, that's
I'll see that.
delicious E150.
All right, let's go to the other one.
So yeah,
Oh, we get some water. Yep.
You go start with gold.
All right.
So round one, black comes out, looks good, looks the part,
Great.
belongs here,
Great, well-rounded Scotch,
right?
sweetness.
Hasn't been punched yet, but dancing around looks pretty good. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I mean, it's not like super
Oh,
depth,
weird.
but it's pretty good. The black
Did
glass.
you water that?
No.
Okay.
Well, so compared to the gold now, as I nose it, it has more of a it's weird. It's like an Oriental food smell. It's got that soy kind of nose to it.
Not much water. That's a pretty big pour, so
That's really
might look like I
interesting.
put a lot of water in there, but there's a lot of whiskey in there, guys.
It doesn't smell peated much. The nose is really light on it.
Oh,
Really?
really? Uh-oh. Did you pour the right
Doesn't
whiskey?
smell. Yeah, this is proper 12.
Compared to the other one, it's
If
not
it's
nearly as
proper
peated.
12, we're going to know.
It's a sweet, lighter whiskey. Doesn't have nearly the depth of nose. Out of
Oh
the
my
other
gosh, you're right. Wow. Honestly, the peatiness of it is almost non-existent. There's a funkiness going on in there in the bottom of it, but not so much of a hardcore
one.
peat.
No, that's true.
I'm getting when I get real down in there and really pull something in, I actually got some peanuts and some like fresh leather.
Okay, I can see that because it's so light. With I'm
Right,
okay.
like that fresh leather that hasn't been worked or anything, you haven't done anything with it. It's just, it still smells new leather, really.
Like a brand new wallet.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of fruitiness going on too.
Eighth grade
though.
shop class.
Like a little bit of berries on the nose. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's kind of like you're walking into a leather store, but the door open as you walk past.
All right.
He said,
Did I hear it?
He said, You know why he said,
So this is different. This has a slight sourness that rolls into a more a more ashy peat with less rounding with the sweetness and the pork flavor and everything.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you something.
Ooh.
That nose did not freaking prepare me for what came on the. There's peat on the palate.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh, absolutely, it comes out of the palate.
Yeah.
This is like having an ice cream sundae with caramel in the middle of it. Like you when you first smell it, you're like, okay, the vanilla, and then all of a sudden this sweet toffee comes right in the middle there, and you've got that smoke kind of balancing out as well. Man, that was lovely.
I got a little bit of a cedar note down the middle and burnt peanuts on the finish.
It's like the Spanish peanuts in a peanut butter parfait.
Oh, I love peanut butter parfaits. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites.
This one, this one I think punched a little bit harder too, which is probably a little bit of a giveaway on whose corner it's fighting for. But it's still approachable. It's not like it knocks you out and you're like, oh Jesus, I gotta put some water in it so I can't finish it. Right?
No.
It doesn't. I think that the palate punched a hell of a lot harder than the nose, and I'm wondering if that's because the nose on the challenger on black was more potent.
I think the nose, if you do the nose only card, I'd say the nose was winning on the black compared.
Right.
For sure.
I think so. That's what I was going with that.
I would say the palate is broader on the black than there's gold too.
Yeah, it definitely has a little bit more going on. Now, that was the first initial sniff after without
It's got a
tasting
long
it,
finish.
but-
It's got a good finish.
Yeah,
gold
the
does.
black was a little short in the finish.
I think the
Yeah.
black got a little soury or tangy on the finish for me. I didn't care for that.
Okay.
I bet water is going to make a difference. The nose is opened up a little bit more now.
It's a tasty whiskey.
It's a delicious whiskey.
So it's a fine balance
So-
between the smoke and the light toffee caramel.
Right, so all right, that's round one. I'm gonna put some water on
Yep.
gold. We're gonna let it sit for a second. Let's talk through round one. What we, who, you know, how are
Wow.
we scoring this on round one, guys?
I'm gonna say 10-9 on the black on the nose, but I'm gonna say like easily 10 on the gold to palate, and I mean,
So you're giving gold better palate than the black. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not. The richness and boldness and layers on the black are better both on the nose and the palate. For me.
I guess it depends on what you're going for. Yeah, let's talk about it. They are different in the
Oh, yeah.
peated world for sure. Like I feel like if you're looking at these two, the black glass is more of a traditional peated. It does feel a little bit more matured. Has a little bit more in the nose. The palate, I'm looking forward with water to try it again. I feel like the other one, the gold here, has more of a toffee, has a little bit
Yes.
more caramels blended with the peat, etc. So it's a little lighter on the peat side, but it's a little bit more. It's more like a sundae. Kind of like that.
It's more sophisticated. I would say the black. So on the nose, I gave black like 10-8.
Oh, wow.
But on the palate, it's
Closer.
much closer because the sophistication of the palate and the gold is really well done. It's well done with that.
All right, let's go.
So
with the water here.
honestly,
That's
let
it.
me give my notes here. So I'm curious to know if I would have switched them and started gold first, how I would have felt about if the nose would have been better. So
Yeah, that's-
nose, I am going to give the edge to black on a 10-9. Palate and finish, I'm giving gold 10-9, 10-8ish. The palate to black to me was too overpowering on pepper and spice. Just it was pepper and spice. It was approachable. It was rounded and it was soft, if you will. But I thought the gold brought more complexity because the black was just over peppery for me. Then on the finish, the black had a long finish, but it, like I said, it turned kind of a sour finish in the late finish, and I really appreciated the dark burnt peanut finish that I was getting on the gold. So this is with water, round
Yeah, so
two.
we're doing nose head-to-head nose on these right now.
Wow.
With the water, with the
And
H2O.
I want you guys to get your nose before we start talking about it.
So I still give the nose the black. I think the gold nose is good, but it's a little tinny. It's a little thin on the nose. It's still more of a I don't even know what the word is. Like I guess just caramel. It's more of a. I'm not getting the peatiness or smokiness on the gold like I am on the black.
See, that's weird because when I tasted the black turned into like grape drink. I lost the peated on it on the nose.
On the nose. Okay, to me, black, the nose is the same, only it's about a tenth of what it used to be. It didn't change it.
It's just-
so beat down like it's barely
It
there.
doesn't have a good nose compared to the gold out. I mean, I think
water.
I mean, it is
water
fruity.
opened
there's
gold
better.
up. Water brought more nose to
there
gold.
it comes out now.
So give it time then.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
yeah,
but
that's better.
the watered down too with this ABV. It's gonna hurt them both no matter what.
Well,
But-
yeah, I just.
But that's it's
which
what
one
it is.
stands? Which one stands better?
Yeah.
I trust you watered them.
I did water them.
approximately.
Yep, I did. I watered them about the same.
Get in there, boys.
I
gonna
really,
hit that nose again.
I think the gold nose really came to life with that water.
Yes, I think so. So far, the nose after water is now 10 gold, 9 black. Man, this is gonna be a tough one.
Oh, wait, man, the nose is falling apart. I almost got a black licorice, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, and now it's just gone to shite.
All right, start drinking.
All right, start drinking.
That's it. Going black. First sip on the black.
With water.
He's doing a Dan Crowell girl.
It's still leathery. Black is leather.
It's drinkable. It's good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's to me, it's just kind of bland. I'm not saying it hit the canvas. I think we might have had a good shot where its knees are buckled, but I can't scream down goes Frazier here.
This feels like I walked into a blacksmith and I had some leather and smoke and peat, but it's a very light version of it. That's the only combo I'm getting out of it.
So
I'm
it's
getting
not
fruit,
really-
I'm not getting any caramels or toffees. It's just leather, smoke, and peat, maybe something else, but it's very light. Not like super strong.
So he didn't walk into a blacksmith. He walked into a candle shop, and she was burning a candle, and he's like, "Wow, what's the scent of that?" And she's like, "Oh, it's called blacksmith."
There is some waxiness in there. That's
Drew and his sound effects. Hoagie says, "I would call Bowmore 12 an accidental."
accidental Isla. Oh my gosh, it's so
It
funny.
tripped and fell into Isla, so it's an Isla.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah, it's that.
I think we all are pretty confident in what's what. I mean, see the nose in this one definitely does not. So let me ask this question: blind, gold, didn't know what it was at all. Would you say Isla right out of the gate?
On the nose, no. On the nose, not.
Well, either one.
Honestly,
How about either one?
Well, they're peated. I think. I think
They're not
bla-
super peated.
No, I think the black is more traditional Isle flavor. Pork barbecue.
on the nose,
smoke,
I
yeah.
would, I would admit that I might trip up and guess the gold to be a Campbelltown
Yeah.
on the nose. If it was true blind and it wasn't between one of these two bottles.
I'm telling you, man, that gold is just the
There's a
roundness.
ton there.
There's different sweet factors. There's toffee, caramel. There's vanillas. There's peat. There's smoke.
Wow, that's weird.
I mean, they're just different. Like that one's more, like I said, smoke, peat, leather. This is
All
that
right.
plus
My last go here.
toffee, vanilla. It's like having a butterscotch sundae.
Man.
I think I got my winner. I mean, it's hard because they're both pretty good. In the peated category, yeah, I'm
don't
still
know.
going with mine.
Okay, so with water, my opinion switched. So now, what do I do?
You gotta pick. You want to talk
You got to
through
do
it? You
some
want
math in
let's
there,
go
buddy.
first.
You had 3 scores from without water and 3 scores with and without. You got to add those up. Was it 10-9,
you ready?
10-8? I'm ready to go,
Go for
but
it.
I think we need to let him go first because I think you and I probably have a very similar card.
Yeah, I bet we do.
So I want to see to make this interesting and build the drama. Do you have a button for drama? Suspense.
I don't know what that is.
Would Tinkerbell just come across the screen or what?
There was your drama inserted. Thank you, Drew. Talk to me. Talk to me.
All right. So, neat, I thought, Black Hat. It was rich, it was flavorful. It had layers. When you added water, it fell apart, the nose fell apart. And now I'm just getting, like you said, a blacksmith. I mean, it's not, it doesn't have it. So it's still good. Let me back up. I would still drink glasses of black all day long, but when I put it up against gold, and gold has this breadth that is arguably better balanced than the black. So I think I have to go with gold begrudgingly. I love the initial palate of the black, but
I knew that's what you were gonna do.
it's just a better whiskey.
Like you wanted black.
I wanted black to win because that was like, it came out of the gate and it was like, I'm peated, I'm
And-
smoky,
and-
it's so good.
We say wheelhouse till we're dead.
Yeah.
In here. I get that,
I mean,
but
that
but that's
pushed me.
that is you. You want that blacksmith.
I
want a blacksmith, but you
I
want
like-
it strong.
I like the black better neat. This would be my
So
glass.
what
preferred
happens if I
glass.
would have given you black only 5 or 7% more ABV?
That's what I was going to ask too.
A little bit more freaking punch.
I think that would have made a big.
I think
difference.
it came in with a little bit light on the shorts. In other words, it stood
I-
a good first round. By round 3, it came in here and it was wearing down fast. And if we kept going, it's going to hit the canvas. But guess what?
You know what? I'm going
It-
to flip back
It made the
Oh
distance.
my God.
Because I think about how do I drink my whiskey? I don't always put water. I usually don't put water in my whiskey.
Well, that's exactly. It's fine. But
The black is
what do
better.
you like out of those two?
Right
you,
now,
you
here's
basically
the
want leather peat or you want peat sweet.
Yeah.
That's basically
Leather
it.
barbecue. That pork. I love it. I love a good whiskey.
Okay.
That tastes like pork
So
barbecue.
you're switching to going black.
Yep, I'm gonna go back black. I think
Well, we've
that's-
never seen this on a card, man. There's going to be controversy
boy,
on
oh boy, oh
ESPN
boy, oh boy.
tomorrow. Son of a gun. I'm going to stick with. I think gold.
Which
I
one
think
goes better with Coke?
Let's say which one goes better with Coke. Let's say there's 6 scores, right? Let's say I was scoring nose,
6.
palate, finish, neat, and nose, palate, finish with water. So there are 6 scores. I would say 5 of the 6 I had to give to gold. I would give the nose neat to the black. So 5 out of 6. I don't think it was too close of a fight. I think honestly we kept these guys in the ring. Black's going to end up hurt on the canvas, but it made the distance, and here it is to at least get scored on. In my mind, it was a 10. Like I said, 5 out of 6 went to gold. So I mean, do the math on that. I'm saying gold shouldn't have a chance, shouldn't have a problem with being named the winner here. But I don't know. He flip flopped. What's going on with you?
I am 100% like Mark.
Damn, there's the drama.
Exactly what he said is what I am too. And the nose, initially nose neat was better than the black. I feel like, I know what you're doing, Andrew, and I get it, and I appreciate it. I feel like the black, though, is just a little bit one-dimensional in that factor. I feel like the gold gives me that plus more. And I feel like, to me, that hits more home on my peated wheelhouse, if you will. I don't want, like, when I think of your wheelhouse, I think of an octomore. I think of a strong-legged bull, punch you in the
Lafroy 10.
face, peat and smoke, and I am not that. I can drink one of
that's
those,
fair.
but I want more. I want versatility. I want to be able to. Now, I will say both of these didn't handle water that great, but from what I'm getting with water and neat for both gold, man, I just love it. I mean, it's like I've said it a million times. Sunday, butterscotch, different things. To me, that's awesome. So gold is my pick.
Yeah, I think you are oversimplifying what it takes to make that pork barbecue flavor in that glass. That there are lots of layers of flavor beneath that.
Sure.
But it does not. It's different. It's very different than gold.
So let's be fair and say, you know what? And we've never had this in a fight before, but honestly, when I think about this particular fight, things might have been different had we started with gold. I think the only reason black won one of the 6 scores for me is because I started with it. I think if I would have
could be.
started with
Yeah,
gold
I think
and got
you're
a
right.
fresh nose on it,
Right.
it might have been able to pull. So let's you ready? Let's back these off. Is there a question? Do we know who's who?
Well, look at the bottom of the black.
Black is blue.
Gold is nothing.
Gold.
Gold is nothing. So whichever one has the blue sticker is the loser.
Bowmore.
Bowmore.
They were backwards on the camera. I'm like, holy shit, I was wrong. Ledaig just lost. But it obviously we were able to tell.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it, specifically on camera. But when you taste it, a 6.3% difference on ABV is going to jump out at you.
So 12 years, 2 extra years versus a 10. I think that's kind of mixing things. It doesn't make a difference. I think maybe from a maturity spec, I think I even said that was more mature than this one at one point. But it's just the dimension of it. It's just not as depth. They're not
I
deep as
honestly
what that
think
is.
it comes down to 40% ABV and chill filtration is what really was the Achilles heel.
It might have killed that. It may
Maybe.
not be a fair fight.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ledaig is just man. It's looking for contenders. It's kicking ass and taking names. And here's another name for it. So, Bowmore, good fight. Glad you showed up, but please leave.
that
I
is-
like
That is
Bobby.
good. When I topped it back off,
Please leave the forge.
Bobby J's like, that's my boy. Bobby J brought this belt from Chicago
No,
like
dude,
a
when
month
you-
ago, and it's still reigning champion. So this is Bobby J's
Hey Bobby,
bottle.
we might need another bottle.
That's right. Come on back down.
so put stuff of work back on that because No, up higher.
This one?
Yeah.
Up higher. Bowmore
this
12 is so watery. It could be enjoyable, yes. I
I agree.
That's where I was going.
I don't know if watery is the right term. I mean, it is thin. From a texture, mouthfeel, the chill filtration probably takes some of that away. Fair point. But the palate is still pretty potent.
Well, it's good.
So
Don't listen. Don't not buy Bowmore.
it's
12.
not as creamy
It's good.
as the Ledaig maybe, but
I just think the Ledaig 10
that's
has a little bit more going on.
honestly, it's funny, the finish on that, when you topped it back off with some more, fresh whiskey, the finish has got a strawberry note on it. Maybe that's that artificial red berry that I was talking
you know
about.
what you were smelling earlier.
But I got a strawberry note on it in the end. I'm going back to my.
Alright.
It's a little sweeter than it was.
I'm going back to
It's-
my
it's much better than
Tamdu
neat.
12 that I started with.
Neat is definitely the way to go.
too,
I
I
will
guess.
say that you have always been. I remember doing Bowmore like 4 or 5 years ago. You were like, oh my
You were the freaking.
The darkest?
Our first whiskey expo we went to, I tasted Bowmore 15 Darkest, and I immediately ran and got these guys and said, "This is what Scotch should be like." That whiskey, that just
was
drew
the
me
The
in.
invention of Wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Right there.
Then he had to go to the bathroom and clean up. It was bad, but
But you guys were there with me, so it's all right.
But it's been a long time since we've had a bottle of that, and who knows? That very well would have stood a better fight tonight against this. And that being
that's
that's
an
a
interesting-
sherry matured whiskey too, so that one might actually be able to stand up and
That's an interesting one to put in there if we get higher in the
Well,
ladder.
I think where we're going is it would be interesting if it could win and stay in, and then towards the end battle against the Sherry.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of all this, when we start combining categories, the kings start fighting. I think that's where the real interesting fights are going to come in.
Yeah.
Which king can withstand another category, right?
Like,
who's
that's-
bringing the
How do you
game?
take a peated
It's
against
like
a
taking a
sherry?
heavyweight versus a lightweight, and
And
Yeah,
it's
those bourbon cask ones are going to die quickly.
the blends are gonna die
blends
quick.
are-
that's
Wow.
not necessarily true. I don't
Yeah.
know. So this is a good. This is a good.
I mean,
segue.
Would you put Dimple Pinch up against that?
Yeah, no.
No.
The blends are probably going to get their asses whipped.
We'll have to definitely do the King of the Hill like cutoff. I think you said like October or sometime. And say
Yeah,
that
so
these are the
then-
winners of this year's King of the Hill category, and then we'll do a fun breakdown, just for fun, really. Because I don't know that. To your point, I'm not sure Dimple Pinch can win against any of those other King of the Hill.
Did you go back to your Tamdu 12 since we did this?
No.
I'm sure it's going to be like
So
super
Malt Minion, I
sherry.
love Malt Minion's root suggestion.
Oh my god, that's
So-
Balvenie week of Pete. That's the.
I actually I want to get that
Ben,
and
we had
actually
12 smoky.
So that's a great segue. So if you're watching
I was
us in
just gonna
replay, thank you for watching King of the Hill series so far. We're going to do a lot more of these going forward. Tonight, we're also going to break it down and say, okay, so
We're pulling the curtain back.
one of the things we need to do, and you all are definitely willing to help here, is we get some bottles here we're going to show in a second, but we need to figure out what are the contenders? What other ones should be in here? Balvenie 14 Pete week or week of Pete
Yeah, let's start.
is a great one. So what else can we do? So let's talk
You got
about what we
spreadsheet up and
have.
Start typing.
Yeah, I'll do that. You guys
So-
do this piece.
Let's talk about this. We've got, I don't know, 5 or 6 different categories right now, 4 or 5, whatever it is. And we want to at least throw out there, we're going to go a history and show you what each category, what the history of that category is. So Drew's going to pull our spreadsheet up and show you our various categories. Actually, there's 4 of them.
It's not very clean, but it's good enough.
But we can talk about where each category started, who's won, who's lost, who's the current king, the history of it. And then we've got some bottles that might fall in as contenders, but we want your input and say, that's a good contender, or just skip that one, or, that doesn't fit the category. Or, like Malt Minion just put up, he wants to see some of these other ones. Now, love the suggestions. We'll take and we'll entertain all suggestions, but I'm going to
But
tell you.
we're capturing a lot of different ideas.
I'll tell you right now up front, the idea is like bottles, right? So don't come and think that you can don't suggest an Octomore in the peated category. We're talking about readily available bottles.
That's the number one thing.
Right.
We're trying to
It's
do.
gotta be readily available.
It's got to be readily available, and something because that's the whole point. Like we want to do this because if you're watching and you're new to Scotch, whatever, We want you to be able to go buy this
Yeah,
bottle.
so that means we need to get some Glenlivets in here. We need to get some.
Well, that's the
Glenlivet's in
problem. We're
here.
going to talk about that.
New
because
category. We may open up a new category.
Price is the next one you're going to hit, but again, that's kind of a little off too. There's going to be some wild cards because I think we've already done one or two. You can't like match them up perfectly. Like for example, segue. Before I do this, bring me that peat monster over there for a second.
Which one?
It is. It's 3 different ones. Like, tell me right now. And if you're watching the comments
put on
right
the
now,
camera.
I'll turn the camera on. You tell me that this is where we're getting to. Like, if you're doing a peated scotch right now, these are peated scotches. However, these are blends.
They could fight in the blend category.
But I think
not
they
fair.
deserve to be in the Isla category.
They
Well,
need
the
to be in a
peated-
peated category.
Right,
for sure.
peated category, yes.
And
Because
which one do you do? The old brown label? You do the new code labels? You
yeah,
do the,
but here's the other thing: do they fit the category descriptions? Are they readily available? Well, the new one is, not the brown,
yeah,
right?
take the brown out because that won't work.
brown
'cause
shouldn't
that-
go.
Because
It's
that's
not
not
readily available.
Yep.
But these should go. But
those are pretty.
What's the difference between these
fairly
two?
easy.
I can't
One's
remember.
a
There's
10th
a
anniversary. One's a regular.
Oh yeah,
right?
this
But-
is 10th anniversary, I think.
That's probably not readily available. So you want the.
Yeah, this one needs to go out. So this would be the one that would go.
Yeah, my point is valid.
Sure.
It's hard. It's going to be hard to marry exactly like for like in some categories because you're going to find things that are readily available here that are not everywhere else. Like if we're in Chicago, I think our inventory
Much brighter.
multiplies. But
Sure.
here so that's the whole point of the rest of the show tonight is just to talk through this, get some ideas from you, show what we currently have, what can we immediately do,
Yeah,
and then
so-
what do we need to go get.
Yeah, that would be something I would ask. Is that you go to a standard liquor store in your town, and you send us pictures of bottles that are readily available on your standard shelf. I mean, I'm not going to like your high-end Scotch store. I'm thinking go to your Payless Liquors, your Total Wines, your all those kind of things that have a wide breadth of whiskey and are readily available, and then send us pictures of what you think might be there.
So Alan's suggestion, talking about this particular thing, he's saying, don't mix this in the peated category. Keep single malts together. Blends and malts aren't fair fights. And in
do
the
we need a
end, they
peated
do.
blend?
No, we can't.
Yeah, but look at, I mean,
Can't
then
keep
again,
opening. Right. So we really need to think through this. At the end, here's the thing, guys and gals. At the end, they're all getting mashed together anyway. Come November, you're going to see that light keeps attacking me, man. That thing's pissing me off. Anyway, you're going to see these all smashed together. And you're going to see blends going up against single malts. And you're
Yeah.
going to see peateds going up against sherries. And that's fair. We expect that. That's where this is going. But... Do you put this in the peated or do you put it in the blend? I think it belongs peated.
it has to
because
be peated. You
You know,
can't
it's
put
gonna-
a blend peated, and again, unless
Well,
you
the
have a
question
blend.
is, I mean, so
Well-
like Johnny Walker Black
is
is a peated blend,
yep, true.
Well, that's true.
and so
But then we have to get okay. So when do we
we have a
when do
peated
we
blend
move
cap?
when do we move from dimple pinch to we talked about this earlier to a Johnny Walker Black?
so that's the question. Yeah, do you like now create a peated blend and a non-peated blend?
It's hard. And that's where we need your help.
Now it's not too bad when we're doing undercards. We can get through 2 a week, so you can kind of move,
Sure.
but
And
it's
and
tricky.
there, last week was I think our first time we did. We actually had a fight. It was technically an undercard fight where there was nothing on the line. Neither one of them. It was the Royal Broccoli.
Yep.
These were samples that were sent to us. They weren't contending for a king title. They never were. But it was a cool fight that was on the undercard. You know, you pay per-view $90 and you get a chance to watch 12 other fights before it gets to the
Yeah.
60-second fight. And this was one of those cool fights, and that's awesome. Maybe some of these end up like that because they technically don't fit a category. We'll have to see. But let's look at the spreadsheet. Let's talk about where we are in each category. Let's get some suggestions and show our bottles.
before we do that, let's talk about the bottles here because I want to make sure we're hitting that discussion point thoroughly, and then when we go to the
so
spreadsheet,
you want to go through the bottles and
I
say
do.
yes, what category or no?
Yeah, I want to at least give them an idea of what we have so that we can start talking about.
Let's do it.
Because maybe we'll have some one-off things that might fit. So,
Sure.
so I'm going to throw all these out
Let's
here.
get these out of here. This is a king. Hey, Bob J, we need another bottle of
Bobby
Chick-
J,
Can we not
need
find-
another transport.
Can we not find Legit 10 here?
No.
Oh shit.
So I'm not going to put the camera on this. These are some bottles I grabbed that I thought.
What are our current categories?
So we've got blends, we've got sherries, we've got Irish, and we've got peated.
So those
That's it.
4 categories. Now,
That's it.
we are considering, and I think it's a good suggestion,
need
of
to.
just making a straight ex-bourbon finished single
Got
malt
Lafroig
whiskey.
over here, too.
In other words, there's no crazy finishing, no crazy maturation. The maturation is just your pure and simple ex-bourbon, 10, 12, 15 years, whatever. Just that middle of the road multi-scotch that 90% of the world thinks scotch is, right?
So we've got a couple blends here. I think that probably deserve the naked grouse. I think is definitely
Malt, yeah.
definitely deserves to be in there. It's a wonderful blend. And now the only problem is, it's a very pretty good sherry.
Well,
blend.
maybe that one
But-
fights the sherry category
Put,
someday.
put that in your back pocket, right?
First fill
Then you've
sherry
got
glass.
this guy that I have no idea what this is. I saw it in the shelves. I saw it in 3 different liquor stores around here.
I've had Copper Dog.
Okay, so it's a
Yeah.
blend. So, but I don't know much about it. Should it belong in? I don't know.
It's a blended category. It's not heavily sherried, so I think it'd
it
be
probably
great.
should
It'd be
fight.
great.
What's the
it's-
price
it's-
point?
Oh, that's like 30
$30,
It's not
25
much.
bucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
good
it
price.
fits.
Cheap.
It
So that's a
fits.
blended malt. It is a blended malt too.
That's
so-
kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
I like
And then Irish, right? These are some things we have, which I think yes. I think the Jameson Black Label, I think is probably should be in there.
A lot of people
A lot
like
of people
it.
really like it. Proper 12, I can't stand it. It's a piece of shit, but I think it's probably should be in there too. But I don't know. There's no way. I'm just gonna call it now. This is what we're having. It's like it's popular. It's cheap. Some people like it, but there's no way this stands
I don't know
toe to
any.
toe against Redbreast or anything like
Why?
that.
Like the Black Barrel.
But does it deserve a fight?
It deserves a fight. Same thing with Lestau, right? Redbreast Lestau. Obviously, this is.
I would think we could find a lot of other good Irish on the shelf.
I think
that-
so
or
too.
that
There's some new
deserve-
Bushmills out that I'm dying to
that
have.
deserve a shot over Proper 12.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then we've got I threw that peat monster in there, but we also have this Lafroig
Yeah, get
10.
that Peat Monster back. No, wrong
No,
one.
Wrong one. That's there, put it-
Wrong one. What did it go? You put it away.
I put it down here. That's the 10th.
That's the 10th. It's got the arc.
Gosh.
It's got the arc. So these are 2 contenders that we have right now.
Wait. Shouldn't that be in the sherry oak finish? That's a sherry cask.
But
sherry
it's
finish.
yeah, I know.
It's-
but
it's Isla peated.
That's peated.
But it's sherry.
Exactly.
You're right. You tell me Lafroig 10. I don't care what you finish it in. It's
peated.
peated.
You put the Proper 12 against White Walker. That's actually funny. We should do like the battle of the shittiest.
in Invergordon,
shittiest
and,
whiskeys.
Yeah, Ivor House and all those. Yeah.
There's really a lot of bad jokes that I could get in trouble for going on that one. So I'm gonna shut up. I think these both belong in the peated category. I think this particular Lafroig is an interesting one for it
Oh.
because I think it stands a chance to fight in the sherry category. So those are cool.
Yeah.
But it's almost like UFC. You know, you've got different martial arts. You've got different fighting styles. This one could fight in both.
Shelby Company.
Yeah.
Bob, you're killing me. That's one of the Bushmills I got to get. I actually showed that
I gotta get
picture
it,
to my
yes.
wife, and she said, "Why don't we have that
Same
yet?"
category.
Yeah. So anyway, those are peated. Those are awesome. You talked about the Irish sherried. We don't have anything lined up for the sherry category.
We don't have anything.
Right.
Well,
So
we're out.
we got to hit.
So
Total
let's
wine.
transition. So
wait a minute. Yeah, I'm reading comments in out of order. That's not
Yeah,
healthy.
these are old.
It's not good.
So let's talk about those are some bottles we have now that we could add, but let's talk about the current champs and what has transpired so far. So let me go
What
here.
has transpired so far?
Okay, so here we go. So here's the sherries that we have done, and this is where we need your help as well. If you're still watching the replay, on your comments below would be great, and current comments now we'll try and get to as well.
First fight started off with Mac 12. Just your standard
And Glen 12. I mean, those are the 2.
Mac 12, Glendronach 12. Hell of a fight.
Strong.
Worth the money to watch that fight.
Another strong.
Glendronach won. Then Glendronach ends up losing to Tamju 12, which I've got in my glass right now, and it's flipping delicious.
but that lost
But then
to La Santa.
Now, I will say that the La Santa is a come out of nowhere undercard that just freaking is still killing it.
I mean, that's the Rocky, dude.
It is
Nobody
Rocky.
saw Rocky coming, and all of a sudden,
$52.
right?
I'm
and
telling you right now, I know a lot of people that I have seen in the chat and comments have went out and bought La Santa so far just because of this series, and I'm so glad we're doing it because of that. Because
I hope people agree with this.
I've had it in the past. It's fine. It was good. But now I'm like, holy shit, this deserves, like, it should be a staple
It
on my
really
bar.
is. It's that good.
It's that good.
But so let's talk about this. Where are we? Who's challenging La Santa right now? We don't even have a challenger, guys.
Well,
we don't have a sherry whiskey.
Abelard 12 didn't make it. Balvenie 15, which is a super sherry bomb, it didn't make it.
Which that's nuts, man. I can't believe
I know.
La Santa freaking. I mean, that was a 15-year-old.
That was a shocker to me, honestly.
Yeah.
And that 15-year-old's expensive. I think it was like $100. And then obviously the double wood, the Balvenie 12 double wood is like
So
a
we
common-
need some suggestions. Who do you guys think deserves to get in the ring against La Santa, knowing where La Santa's been, what it's beaten?
So we got one here: Spice Tree versus La Santa.
No, Spice Tree-
Spice Tree's
it's a blend.
blend, right? Compass box.
It's
Yeah.
that's a blend.
What else?
Boona
Could we do?
12.
Boona
Maybe.
12.
See now, Boona. Let's talk about that for a second. Boona 12 has been mentioned a few times. A huge fan of Boona 12, and I saw. Who did I talk to? Was it somebody online was talking the other day about Boona 12, and I know it was Roy. Roy was talking about he did his whole, and he was talking about his favorite whiskeys, etc. And Boona 12. He even mentioned on his show, it's like he didn't mention it. He loves it. It's great whiskey, but he didn't mention it because I agree with him. I love it, but it's not like super sherry. It's more of a chocolate. It's on its own little stand. It's delicious, but I don't think it fights in the sherry world.
Is it a sherried
No.
whiskey? So it would go in that bourbon finish only?
No, it's not that.
See,
it's more chocolate. It
here you
doesn't
go.
really-
People are. You knew Glen Alecky was going to pop up.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fair.
fine, fair enough. But which Glen Alecky?
Well, you got to
Kyle-
start with their lower end. You can't start with 15. That's not fair.
Right, you can't come in with 15 when there's a 10 on the market. So, I mean, here's the thing about Glen Alecky, and I
Spaniard,
can't.
That's fair.
Number one, it's not readily available in our market. It's hard to find around here. Not saying it's not readily available in yours, and so we would consider it for that. It just means we've got to acquire it.
Yep.
And we understand our market sucks. Got it. Get you.
No, Glen Scotia is not sherry.
There's one. Isn't it Victoriana?
Yeah, Victoriana's not sherry, is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Ooh, that
I-
Victoriana's.
I
Good
think
stuff.
I thought it was just bourbon.
That's good. You guys would have to beat me
It's-
up and freaking
It's
take it out of my
it's a
bunkers.
great dram.
Yeah. So no, we can buy bottles of that. That's still available.
Glen 12. I think that's probably one we've heard before in a few comments.
Well, that's the point. I mean, it's
But-
a 12-year-old sherry.
I-
That's probably right.
So-
I think that fits the mark.
Derek, actually, I think this is on my personal radar. I completely agree with you. Glenrothes is everywhere. I see it in almost all the liquor stores around here. Which one though? There's this Maker's Cut. There's an
There's a
18-year-old.
plethora.
And then there's a sherry cask. Something I think there's red. They're
Yeah,
colored
there's the
red.
sherry
and-
cask. Yeah.
So
that's-
which one do we get?
Glenrothes
The
sherry.
sherry, right?
Yeah.
So we need to find that one. I think Glenrothes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite distilleries. I think that for sure deserves to be a fight.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So I mean, we need to capture Glenrothes, Glen Alecky 12. Mike, I think that's a great suggestion. I think we can actually obtain that one.
Kuboken. Yeah, if we could find.
Kuboken would be good, but
If we could find
it's
it.
a little smokiness to it too. That
Well,
actually
yeah, that
might
would be in
good.
the peated category.
You think?
Yeah, I think
oh,
so.
for sure.
I mean, I know Highland
So-
Park 12 is lightly peated, but I think it deserves a fight in there. It's
Oh,
got
for
peat
sure.
and it's got. Those are two great examples of suggestions that we can get.
I
in.
almost bought Highland Park 12 the other day for
We
one
need
of these
to.
categories.
Yeah.
It has to be.
You're right.
Right?
You gotta have a Highland Park. in
Yep,
there.
I think Highland Park
Glenrothes
absolutely
is
needs to be
Highland
in a fight.
Park. Yeah, those two for sure.
I would love to see Kuboken, man. I haven't had a good quality
You can't
bottle.
find it.
'Cause-
That's the problem. Does it fit the common category?
right. Well, maybe it does because
Well,
our
I've
market
never
sucks.
seen
I mean, we
that's
got
the question. How many of you have seen Kuboken on your shelf?
So,
That's the question.
Bobby J and Tom in Chicago, do you guys find that? Bobby H, do you find it out in New Jersey? Zach, do you see it down in Texas? If you guys all come back and say, yeah, I can get a bottle of that, all right, then it's readily available.
That's the thing.
Our market just sucks and we need to accept that.
Yeah, and well, it does suck, and there's no doubt about that. But even when I went to Benny's before, I couldn't find Kibroken, so I
Yeah.
still don't think it's that.
Yeah, I don't know where my-
Tomatin is good, but is that their main distillery or main distributor? I mean, for that, I don't know.
Yeah,
But so let's talk about. So we've got a couple of suggestions. Did we get any Irish suggestions?
Not yet. We're
no,
sticking on
these are-
sherry right
we're
now.
Scotch
Oh,
wine, so yeah.
I know, but we've got a category. Well, let's finish it because
Yeah,
I
those-
do.
Let's move to the next. Yeah.
Same thing. I don't think it is.
Yeah, I think Kuboken's going to be a lost cause.
I think so
Not
too.
going to find it.
10 to 12, we just did that one.
Tamdu 12 did not make it.
Didn't
Tamdu
make
12 is lost already. Tamdu 12 held the belt, held the King of the Hill
And
title
12
for a week.
lost to Lasanta. I can't
Yeah.
believe those fell to Lasanta. but
That's
they
the
did.
beauty of King of the Hill.
Look at the
Yeah.
spreadsheet, Chen. That's the point. I mean, honestly, Tamdu 12 was there and is delicious. I'm drinking it now.
Yeah,
So,
but it didn't beat.
So let's
that
hit the
night
other
it
categories.
lost.
All right, so we got some good suggestions so far. Let's go to the next category and see what's going on. Let's go to 10-year-old Pete's. So we talked about this.
Doesn't have to be 10, but
Yeah, well, that's true. We started with 10-year-old Pete's, but Peated category. So so Lefroy
straight
10.
Lefroy 10. Just straight out the
Yep.
gate. That's what that is.
Yep. And
Yep.
we went against Ardbeg 10, which
And it beat.
two fighters, honestly.
Two really popular fighters coming from different, you know what I mean?
Ardbeg 10 is like, it's money. It's so good. It's really good. But Lefroy 10 is too. Medicinal, I feel like, honestly, to me, it's pretty easy. It's medicinal versus non-medicinal. But I mean, I think
To me, that fight was, if you guys are into boxing and you watch, two
Go back and
very
watch that one, yeah.
big,
That's a good one.
famous fighters that hail from different countries that literally are bringing the support of their entire country, like a Mexican fighter, and all of
Yeah.
Mexico is there saying this guy's going to win, and then there's this Spaniard
That's
that comes
exactly
in.
right.
That was what happened that
That's
night.
exactly
it's
right.
like
World Cup.
right?
no
what's
one
going to
knew.
happen?
Like, even if you thought, well, anyway, Lefroy ended up winning.
It did.
So
It did.
Lefroy ended up going Talisker 10, which another one we haven't done for a long time, which is great. Actually, bring
down
that
here on
out.
the
I want
shelf.
to
With
sell
the
that right
Talisker
now,
10?
actually. Talisker, yeah, that's a great whiskey. I think so.
Talisker's good shit.
It lost
It's in Port Charlotte.
to Port Charlotte. When did Lefroy lose to?
To Talisker
Talisker
10.
10.
Talisker. Okay, yes, thank you. And then Port Charlotte came in and it beat Talisker 10, and then Ledaig came in and
And
said
has now-
nope. And it's been the king. He's beat Port Charlotte. It's beat
Update it right now. It beat Bowmore 12.
It just did, yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, what do we have in as far as contenders for Peated? We've got Ugadale, we've got Corey Vrecken, we've got Lefroy
those are
10.
a very different price.
We've got
point.
Log 12. These are all different price points, and maybe, I mean, some are readily available, like some maybe not. I mean, you could probably find all of them, but man, the price points are way higher.
Yeah, this is where I think in a peated category, I
tough.
think we could probably go. It's easier to bring in blended peats into this category because the peat is such a dominant force. It tends to overpower a lot of the softness of a grain whiskey. So if you have blended peats, I think those could go into the peated category instead of the blend category.
So let's put Peat Monster in the Peated category.
So Peat Monster could go. I mean, could Johnny Black go? It's not gonna hold
No,
a chance, but where does it deserve its fight? Yeah.
I mean you're right. I almost feel like we have to find somewhere to put Johnny Walker and Black to fight, but
I know
you're
it's
right.
been mentioned a few
Oh, yeah?
times. Like it would be the next Ardbeg, and like, geez, two more. But yeah, I think it's the next fighter in the Ardbeg category.
Well,
And
what about,
and
like,
Lagavulin
Select?
8, Zach, has been mentioned a few times too.
Yeah.
But here's the question: is it
Select. I'm not putting Select in there, so
No,
I'm not drinking
Select
Select.
is horrible.
It's
is
crap.
is Lagavulin 8 like
Oh, it's
readily available? I don't know.
Actually,
that it is.
it probably is. We can probably pick a bottle of that up behind the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's put in what was the first one? Peat Monster.
Peat Monster.
Yeah.
And we don't have much of it, so we need to keep what we have because we got to be clear on which one we have.
Yeah, we may need to.
But I'm looking to see. I'm for some reason having a brain fart on all the distilleries on Isla. Why am I missing?
What was the other one?
So-
I mentioned for sherry.
We've done a Bruichladdich. We've done a Kilhoman. We haven't pulled a Colila in there yet. Colila 12.
Yeah, we.
Oh, Coila 12 would
Colila
be
12
great,
needs
yeah.
to be on there.
I don't know how to spell it.
Buddha,
CAOL space ILA. Colila. Colila.
We can't. We got to put Bruichladdich in there somewhere.
We did. We did.
Oh, I mean,
We,
Chardonnay.
we already did that.
Yeah, you're talking about Buna. Yeah,
you got to
I mean-
have Buna in this fight. Somewhere.
Where do you pull
Really?
Buna in? Where do you pull
Because it's
Buna
such a
in?
good whiskey. I don't know where it goes.
It
I don't know if
is.
it goes
You're
in here or the
absolutely
cherry,
right.
but
It's
Oh, Lagavulin 8 was another one. we've been
yeah.
through.
I think we can grab that, and I think the price point's right on that, and I think it deserves a fight. You know, interestingly enough, Lagavulin 16 might fit the category in some markets. If it's, I mean, you're talking about Costco in Hawaii getting it for $60. All right, well, it's in here, but in our market, it's $1.25.
yeah.
It is readily available. That's good, but it's tough to pull it in the category in a fair fight.
Honestly, that's a quarter cask was one of our original favorites. That's not a bad call.
Oh, that is a good idea. I love liqueur
That's the
cask.
cake batter. Remember cake
Yeah,
batter?
hell
Yes.
yeah. it is.
That's a good call. I'm gonna put that in there too, actually.
Tom's making fun of me. I need to see his comment.
It's quarter cask. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Tom reaching for the low hanging fruit and picking
Yes.
on me. I mean, come on, Tom.
Qatar.
I kind of miss it.
Qatar
Tom
cask.
used to pick on me
Dan's
weekly.
keyboard.
It used to be a weekly thing. He would just beat me up on these lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're standing next to Andrew. He's crop-dusting. He's picking.
He's actually picking on me.
I know.
So I don't know about that one. So we're
Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
saying it
that's
doesn't
fairly
belong.
new. Yeah, that's-
I've got a bias. I didn't care for that one, but maybe it does.
You might be right, Chan. I think you're right in that one. But we'll find out. We need to get in a bottle to Jake. Then what we need to do.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
Buna 12 unpeated. For what?
So here's the thing.
So, no, but it's unpeated, so it should be in the peated category.
But I'm going to say this. Who made that comment? So, Derek, I think Buna 12 unpeated belongs in the new category that we want to create. Just the straight, non-finished, non-matured, like, I don't want to say matured because it's matured in ex-bourbon, but it's just a straight ex-bourbon cask whiskey. That's what I want. I want to make a category that fits your Glenlivet 12s, your Old Pulteney 12s, your straight run-of-the-mill. This didn't have any crazy maturation, any crazy finish. We put this scotch in some ex-bourbon casks. Maybe they were first fill, maybe they were second fill, whatever.
Yep.
But this is what you get. That's a category of
It
scotch.
is.
It really is.
It is.
I don't know, Mike. I mean,
The sherry is in there, but it's not a sherry bomb.
I do not know that it's going. It's an interesting take because I love Buna. I had some the other night, and it's delicious. I feel like it's more chocolate forward than it is sherry forward, and I think that's good. But I don't know that's going to match up against La Santa. We can find out. I mean, technically, does it matter? Does it fit the category?
Well, the category is not sherry bomb; it's a sherry category. So I guess.
So I feel like we should put it in there.
Yep.
Okay, fine.
So
then it goes.
So
there you go.
Chin,
I'll add it.
Chin also had a
think I
comment
did.
that
I did.
Lagavulin 16 is like double the price of Ledaig, where he lives.
Wait,
So-
it's
well, that's what I'm
expensive.
saying.
So it's not a fair
The
fight.
Lagavulin price is crazy in markets. It's weird. So you're right. That's probably not fair.
Yeah, so
What other categories are we missing? I think we've covered
we've-
those.
The big ones, those are the big ones. We've got blends, which we know Copper Dog's on there.
We got to find a bottle of Old Par. That's all there is to it. Naked Malt definitely needs
definitely
to be in there.
naked. Old Par has got to be in there. I think there's a plethora of blends we can go grab,
Can we put some of the?
but they're cheaper.
What about some of the higher age?
Blends like Royal
like,
Blackla 21 and
Well, no, not.
Well, you
not
get
like
Royal
that, but-
Salute. You got
Royal Salute,
Those
you've
are
got-
those are uber expensive, man.
Well, okay. So what about like Johnny Green or
Great,
some-
that's a single. Well, it's a blended malt.
It's still a blend. So
is
Monkey
bacon.
Shoulder. So is Monkey Shoulder.
So it should be on there.
Well, yeah, and I don't know what if that, and so is Copper Dog is a blended malt. So
All right, that's fair.
I feel like the blend category. I feel like Johnny Walker Green deserves to fight.
oh yeah, I think
Okay,
so for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Been training hard. You know what I mean? So we're going to create another category. It will be the straight malt, or not malt, but straight single malt.
Yes. Good call on that one. Great King Street.
There's two different ones, right?
Well, the one that's
there's
not
the
peated.
Glasgow
The
and
one's
there's the
available.
King, right?
Oh,
The non-peated one.
Obviously, yep. There you
Yeah.
go.
Do we
Which
have
is
one of
Great
those?
King Street. Yeah,
I think it's Great King Street.
Um,
I don't have that one. I have the other one.
do you have? I've seen it in one.
I
of our
know I've
bars.
seen
maybe,
it in
maybe
one of our
Sean
bars,
has it? I don't
too.
know.
Johnny Walker Blue and those would be a good head-to-head in the
Higher end.
Undercard.
Higher
Well,
end
I think that's
undercard,
just your
maybe?
undercard fight. That it's not a
I would
King
be
of the
willing
Hill
to do
battle,
that.
but it's just a battle, an undercard
Yeah.
fight before we get to a King of the Hill. I'm
Yeah.
all for that.
Well, so
That
what-
would be-
What category do you put like Signet
know,
in?
We don't put it in the category. I think honestly that could be just a highlight night. Like no kings, just do a couple good battles because
Yeah.
those are two good battles.
You know what?
But what do you put? So though that's a great battle right there. But what about Signet? Who do you put Signet up against? Is
18.
there anything?
Yeah, man. We find another 18 that comes along and says, "I can freaking fight this."
No, that's a that's gonna be an easy pick. You gotta find something that's like
I kind of like these one-off fights. Maybe we have one night. It's just
So,
one-offs. Not no
you know what?
King of the Hill. It's just a couple head-to-heads.
You follow the boxing world. Everybody knows who the champ is, who's got the belt, the Tysons, and all these guys, right? But you know what? If you're really into it, there's a lot of fights are going on underneath all of those to build the contenders. So we're gonna. I'm all about that. Johnny Blue against the Royal Salute 21.
like that.
Those are good fights. Everybody wants to see
Yeah.
those fights.
Yeah, Mike. I agree. I think it's a hard one, but I think it deserves at least fight in the Sherry. So
all right. So there was somebody that talked about a lower price, like a 16. Yeah, I gotta ask where he's from. Yeah.
my bunker is nowhere near Mark's.
So you know what I've got for
I don't even got to bring
I
up
don't-
the
I don't-
heavyweights, Tom.
There's no Derek. I'm sorry, but no.
no.
Rare Cast is awful compared to Signet. Like there's no comparison. For
So
me.
Tom Marsing Lager is $80.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's,
That-
I mean,
Heck, that's
that is a gouging bottle in different markets because it's over $100 here.
Oh yeah.
You
but
can
that one year before Christmas, I bought 5 bottles at $65 a piece. Gave you all one for Christmas because it was. I mean,
You
it's crazy.
if you could buy Log 16 for $65,
Every
that's
day.
steal.
that's
every
why I
day.
did it. I was
Steal.
like Christmas presents.
Undercard Johnny Walker Blue. No,
That was no
King
fair.
would kill it.
King would kill it.
King is amazing. Like I would love to do a King Alexander versus something like maybe we do like a fancy category like the creme de la creme. I don't know.
I mean, Johnny Blue, Royal Salute.
the Grey Poupon.
The Grey
well,
Poupon.
that's where Signet would go. That's where King Alexander would go. That's where
Yeah.
Rare Cask would go.
King's gonna kill everybody.
Well,
I'm
I
telling you.
think I tend to agree with you, but we're a bit biased on that.
I don't know. But then this is a good one too. Yeah. I don't know
Oh,
what that.
Glyph is so bad.
I don't know what glyph.
Glyph.
Is.
I've never even heard
Oh,
of that, Eric.
so-
It's got to be bad if
No.
proper 12 mentioned.
So Glyph is the fabricated whiskey.
Oh
Where,
yeah.
where
I see
they,
it,
they
Eric.
took all the flavor components and put them into a whiskey and didn't age it
got
in
you.
a barrel. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
now he's getting in the beer. We're going the wrong. I think it's time for us to end.
Wow.
All right,
All right.
You're
We're
killing
over
us,
time.
Mark.
Sorry, guys.
Trooper killed us.
Listen, we got ideas, and we're gonna put some of these together. We actually may be reaching out to a few of you that we know really well and close to help us acquire a few of these suggested
Yeah.
bottles or whatnot. Look for the new category. Look for a couple of undercard fights that have nothing to do with
Good
the
information.
title. But man, damn, I don't even have anything to salute you guys with. I killed the
Talisker
Tandu.
right here.
What's
Look
that?
like that. That's
Ledaig.
the Ledaig.
Watered
What's wrong
Ledaig,
with
baby.
that?
Cheers. Love y'all.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Cheers.
3, 2, 1.